Hello and welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley and my guest today is Jim Toomey. He's the Executive Director for the Port of Pasco. And Jim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
the invite.
The port has a long history in Pasco. It dates back to the 40s. Can you tell us a little
That's
more
correct.
about its history?
Yeah, 1941 it came into effect with a vote of the people. First mission was to build a grain terminal on the Columbia River. And since then, they've added very large industrial warehouses, a lot of transportation infrastructure, purchase of the airport from the city in the early 60s. So just a long history of involvement, investment, and expansion of transportation infrastructure and heavy industrial development.
And you have been there a while and really personalized it with your touches. What are the accomplishments you feel most proud about?
Well, I haven't been there since the beginning, but yeah, this is my 22nd year. I think the big thing that standing on the shoulders of those behind me, the first thing that occurred very early on when I was there was the opening of the Pasco Processing Center. And this is a joint venture with the city and Tridec. And what that's translated to is from bare ground, it now represents $150 million of private investment on the tax rolls, 1,000 jobs year round. We're in the process of planning for the expansion of the airport, which is almost dwarfing everything we do. And probably the most recent and most visible accomplishment of the port has been the opening of what we call Osprey Point. And the anchor tenant, for lack of a better term, at Osprey Point is the new Port of Pasco facility, about 20,000 square feet. It's on the waterfront. But it's more than just a building. It literally opens up for private access, for potentially private events, and literally we think it's one of the best views in town. We actually have a rotunda conference room that is nothing but glass. So
beautiful.
Yes, come by and see us sometime. It's a very, very nice facility that we're quite proud of.
And then you mentioned that the airport project is your big kahuna right now. It's
Absolutely.
a $35 million project. And
yes.
How is that progressing?
We're in the early stages of design. A big part of that design process, since it is truly a regional facility, a regional asset,
right,
is that the commissioners have enlisted the assistance of about 15 local citizens from around the area to come in and provide some input on what do you want it to look like, how big do you want it to be, are you behind this all the way? And so far, I think just from a concept standpoint, recognizing we haven't paid for it yet and we haven't built it, there's very, very strong support in the community as they want it to be as big as we can possibly make it. They want it done as quickly as possible, and they want it to look as good as we can possibly make it.
Well, from where it is on the drawing board now to when it's completed and we'll actually be catching flights there,
right,
how long do you think that will take?
Well, if everything goes well, which is always a good caveat, is that the construction time period is probably about 2 years, and we could be into construction a year from now. But there's many, many, many hoops, not the least of which is making sure we can pay for this. That has to happen between now and then. So we anticipate that well underway into construction in 2014 and working through those phases, but could be complete in the early 2016.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for
You bet.
joining us, Jim.
You're welcome.
Pleasure to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jim Toomey, he's the Executive Director of the Port of Pasco. I'm Dana Cowley. Thank you for watching. This is Charter Local Edition Northwest.